Good morning. So today we're going to mill and press our apples that we picked yesterday in part one of this little demonstration. So the first job is we're going to shovel our Katy apples into these plastic crates here, and then we'll wash them in an IBC we fill with water. Okay, next we're just going to wash the fruit quickly. We've got an IBC here, we've cut the top off, filled it with water. So we're just going to quickly rinse the fruit here. We'll check for ones that are rotten and we'll discard those now. And we'll just go through it all, and then when they're good, we'll take them out, leave them to drain for a minute, and then we'll mill them. Okay, next of all, we've washed all our Katy, so we'll run them through the mill. It'll get quite noisy. And that'll just chop it up into very fine particles so we can press it. So we can't press the whole apples, we wouldn't get any real juice extraction. Okay, so we've milled up all our Katy apples now, so the next job is to press them. And this here is what's called a rack and cloth press. It's a very old design of press, even though this one's a modern electrically powered one. The idea behind it is you build up layers of your apple pulp held together with cloths with wooden slats between them into basically a mound, and then you press it down at the end. It's a very efficient way of actually pressing apple pulp. We should have about 70% efficiency doing it this way, which means we should get 70% of the juice out of the fruit. So the leftover pulp at the end should be pretty dry. Hi there. So we've milled all our fruit and we've pressed it all, and we've kept the Katy and the Morgans Sweet separate. So we want to do our blend for our ice cider now. So you don't get bored sensors. I've actually worked out the figures already. What I'm testing for first is the specific gravity. That's the weight or density of the solution. If you don't really know what this is, it's a home brewing thing. It's basically when you dissolve sugar in water, it gets heavier. So you can test the specific gravity bit to work out how much sugar is roughly in there. And as yeast ferments, it converts sugar to alcohol, which weighs less. So if you test the weight of your solution at the start of fermentation and at the end, you can work out how much sugar has been turned into alcohol and therefore the alcohol ABV. So I've tested that for both of them. I use a hydrometer, and this is the Morgans Sweet here, and so this is reading 1.047 roughly. So that's specific gravity. So I've done that for both of them. And this here might look a little more scary or confusing. I'm testing the titratable acidity here, which is the amount of malic acid in there. And this is actually school laboratory gear. It's dirt cheap off eBay. I've got these pipettes here to help with it, And basically what I'm doing is I'm taking a small sample of the cider here and I'm adding some indicator solution from over here and a little bit of distilled water to increase the volume. And I've got sodium hydroxide in here, a measured amount, and I work out the amount of sodium hydroxide to reach a target pH, which would cause a colour change, and I also check it with a pH meter, because on some juices the colour change itself is very, very slight, and some juices quite dark in colour, so it's hard to see. So I kind of belt and braces do it both ways. So I've already worked out the titratable acidity. On the Katy it's 4.4 grams a litre malic acid, and on the Morgans Sweet it's quite a bit less, it's 1.3 grams a litre malic. And now I've got those two figures, that's pretty much all I really need to know to work out my ice cider blend. We've got our Katy and Morgans Sweet blend ice cider, and we've frozen it for around 3 days. The length of time you freeze it for is not really important as long as it's properly frozen. And as it's in a large volume container, it does take several days to freeze. So what we're doing now is we've just got a very simple racking, and they're in plastic carboys. They're turned upside down, and there's tubing between each of them connecting to a central container. And we're allowing them to naturally defrost. We started this at 9 AM and it's around 4 PM now. So it's got a decent amount of juice. It's done about 2 gallons so far. Okay, we're testing our ice cider now for the specific gravity. It started at 9 AM, it's now around 4 PM. So it's been going for around 7 hours, and so far we've got 2 gallons of melt there. And this is a specialist hydrometer that goes up to a high range, and it's actually the 1.100 range. So we see here the actual specific gravity is 1.145, which is incredibly sugary. Our target is 1.120, so we've still got a way to go, so hopefully we'll get another gallon or two juice yet. So